What's up, y'all? Prize pick props that I like for the night. Today's date is Thursday, 12/15/2022. I'm looking at a few props that I like for the night. I think there's about 4 or 5 games on the schedule. Let's get right into it. First prop I'm looking at is CJ Cullum, and we're looking at his prop of 18.5 points. This one is an interesting one to me tonight. He is pretty heavy favorite in most of the books to go over this. As you can see, here's a line that you'll see at some of the books, minus 135 to go over. As you can see, he's only hit this rate 30% of the time in the last 10 games that Brandon Ingram has been out. Ingram is out tonight, and we're searching this on his games without Brandon Ingram. He had 14 points in a previous game against Utah, which was only a few days ago. They lost. I think that's one of the reasons he's probably pretty heavily favored to go over 18.5 points for tonight, because he's going to come out more aggressive tonight. But I'm really not sure if he's going to reach the 18.5 points. One of the stats that stick out to me is that Utah is the best in the league 3 points allowed, second in the league 3 points percentage allowed. And they're, just middle of the road versus shooting guard defense. CJ only took 2 3-pointers against them in the last game that they lost. Only 2. And he's been averaging in his last 5 3-pointers a game. And, when he shoots 5, he's making 1 or 2. Those are 3 points. 3 is better than 2. Even though he's heavily trending to go over 18.5, I'm totally not sure about this one. And I'm leaning toward the under of 18.5. Even though they lost the last game, I know he's going to come out real aggressive. Another stat I was looking at for CJ is the assist. The prize pick line is 5. CJ's hit that 56% of the time this year. So another interesting stat, kind of depends on how the game flows, how aggressive is he going to be. He only had 3 assists in the last game against Utah 2 days back. So what happens here? Is he going to be more aggressive if he's looking for a shot? Or is he going to be more aggressive? And, by being more aggressive, he's going to get other players involved. Not totally sure. It's just an interesting line. Prize pick gives 5. Most of the books, it's got it at 5.5. Got him a heavy under going on that. But I can see this stat going over. I can see this going over 5 assists. So those are 2 plays I'm looking at for CJ. Let's move on to the second player. The second player I'm looking at is going to be Kelly Olynyk from the same game, but he plays for Utah. And we're looking at his points of 11.5. You can see he's hit this 60% of the time in his last 10 games. He had, looks like he only had 6 against New Orleans in the last game. New Orleans is pretty great defensively all around the board. He had 20 against New Orleans back in October, which was on the road at New Orleans. In home, I expect him to be involved. And I expect the other role players to be involved also. You can probably consider Kelly, for this team, a high-end role player. Utah did win this game, and he only had 6 in the game that they did not win the last game, which was on 12-13. I like him to go over at 11.5 points, and I also like his points, rebounds, assists, 19.5. I think he may exceed that also. Third player we're looking at is coming from the Milwaukee versus Memphis game, premier game on the schedule tonight, and we're looking at Ja Morant. We're going to look at his 3-point made. He's hit that. His prop is 1.5, and he's hit that 55% of the time this year. His implied odds is -120 to go over this. I think they will give him this shot as much as he wanted, and he's taking. Let's see how many threes he's taking a game. He's taken upwards of 8 threes in the last few games. So it looks like he's averaging over the last 10, 4.9 threes, over the last 5.8 threes. He took 7 against Detroit, didn't hit any. He took 3 against Oklahoma, hit 2. He took 7 against Detroit, hit 3. One of the major stats I like is he took 7 against Detroit and didn't hit any. He's due to hit some. It's just an average of numbers. He's going to hit some. So as I see that, I even like it more. So I like John Morant to go over the prop of 1.5 3-pointers made. So the tool that I use is props.cash. Go ahead and get this tool. It helps you tremendously. It cuts out a lot of time. You can get a link down in the description for that. I use this tool for all the sports that I do prop betting on: NFL, NBA, MLB, but it's not MLB season right now. The tool really works for me, not just with the Prizepicks Monkey Knife Fight. And if you're using the books also, you can pick out some gems that are probably going to cash for you. So that's all I have for today. Until the next video, peace.